Hi, we are The Normal. My name is Yan Singh and my team member are Vanessa, Ari, Phoebe, and Tia. In our presentation, we hope to cover the innovative strategy to the F&B industry, especially buffet SME, and focusing on how the buffet industry can benefit from the strategy that we propose. As we can see from the statistic, the pandemic had caused a lot of impact towards SME. More specifically, SME in the F&B industry has been hugely affected as they have experienced a 78% decrease in their revenue. In this case study, we choose to focus on Gogigo Korean BBQ and Steamboat Buffet, which is the SME that focuses on serving home-style Korean food with a self-service dining model. One of the biggest issues the F&B industry currently facing is a long-term change in customer behavior and demands. This has caused difficulty for buffet industry to sustain their business in this new norm. So here comes the question: how buffet industry sustain their business in this post-pandemic? To answer this, we have proposed two main strategies. First, revamping the customer experience by changing their service model. Second, diversifying revenue source by establishing a one-stop buffet shop.
Ever since pandemic hit, we can see that people care more on the hygiene and sanitation of the place they eat. For Gogigo to survive and sustain in the post-pandemic, they need to significantly put more effort into operation and change the whole concept of how people think of the buffet as an unsafe and unclean place to eat. To do so, we propose to implement canteen-style buffet as their new business model. It is a form of buffet where food is organized into stations and sets behind the booth, with each station served by a waiter or a chef. It could provide a subconscious cue of hygiene and also safety by answering the question of does the food look clean and also does the food look safe to the customer. Next, we think that a canteen model buffet is more beneficial to Gogigo compared to a usual self-service buffet due to these two aspects. First is hygiene and the second is service. From these two aspects, we can see that canteen model buffet can bring more customer confidence by giving sanitation promises and also bringing more luxury experience to customer. For example, Jogoya and also Lemon Garden are the successful restaurants that implement canteen model buffet into their business.
From a survey, we found out that a total of 85% Malaysians still prefer to cook at home since the implementation of social restrictions from the pandemic. This highlighted an issue to us that the only form of income Gogigo currently has comes from its dine-in buffet. In order to keep up with the change, we thought of how to deliver what the business has to offer to the new norm while also benefiting the company. This brings us to our second strategy to the diversified revenue source. We suggest implementing a one-stop shop in Gogigo to sell their buffet ingredients in individual pack sizes. This means selling their buffet line items at a more affordable price. So compared to needing to buy huge amounts at mainstream supermarkets, this will allow customers to purchase smaller portions of ingredients for their own consumption at home. For the business, this will allow a diverse market segmentation to cater for the needs of different customers. This will offer convenience to existing and new customers, which will lead to higher customer retention. This strategy has been deemed successful by a few familiar names such as Din Tai Fung and Fu Hing Dim Sum, both of which can be found in the Klang Valley. These eateries sell their menu items as frozen selections for in-store purchase or through delivery that consumers are able to savor their delicacies on their own at a cheaper price. This allows the businesses to earn alternate revenue and also build up their brand identity. Though this initiative was done with the intention of an alternative income source, it will be a plus point to include online delivery service on the site, as it is known that convenience is one of the top values in customer experience, and we believe that meeting customer expectations would gain business benefits.
In this following area, we will be focusing on how tackling carbon emission are able to provide sustainable competitive advantage. There are three main directions that we would like to tackle that is known to have direct impact on greenhouse effect. Food waste have been one of the rising issues that during the post-pandemic, the data shows that about 45% of food waste is generated yearly and individuals spend about 23,000 per year on food. Having the ability to handle food waste wise and efficiently opens up more potential investments that supports future business expansion plans. Moving on, food industry can never be separated from packaging. At the same time, Malaysia's reported the most plastic waste of about 16 kilograms per person, which is why coming up with solutions that are sustainable opens up for a larger market pool of consumers that seeks for sustainable solutions. One of the example would be using biodegradable packaging for customers as it releases carbon at a ratio of 1:1 as it breaks down. Finally, supply chains are responsible for 80% of carbon emission. This issue has been rose to be one of the main focus of companies. Think of intermediaries, not only reduce carbon emission, it allows us to have better quality management and being cost efficient as well. One of the method would be using the farm to table method that allows direct access to the source while forming a system-butter relationship with the farmers.
So moving forward, here are a few key stakeholders that are being affected by our suggested strategies. So let us look into how implementing canteen model buffet could affect these stakeholders. So as we can see over here, the owner would incur more expenses as they need to hire more employees. And as for the employees, if the owner fails to recruit more staffs, the existing employee may face more workload and possibly they have to divert their attention into other areas. For customers, the employees will get the food for them. So in that way, it gives the customer a sense of hygiene guarantee. So moving on, which is the one-stop buffet shop strategies. So how would this impact the owner? The owner would need to think of, to think more of his space management. How would they want to display their goods and the stuffs? So this will also increase their expenses since they need more manpower. But all in all, when they act as a one-stop buffet shop, they can get a better price from the supplier with the concept of buy more, pay less. Next, for the employees, they might need to bear more responsibility if the owner fails to recruit people. And as for the customers, they get to have a brand new experience and also convenience, whereas suppliers, on the other hand, they will obtain greater benefit because they get to supply more goods, which in turn foster better business relationship with the owner as well. So moving on, which is the risk-benefit assessment. For the canteen model, one of the potential risks are weak human resource management, which leads to bad customer experience. This could be mitigated by providing staff training. The second risk is the loss of customers due to higher price. So how will we solve this is that by implementing value-based pricing, which customers could feel the value in our service. And the benefit of implementing these strategies are that it could increase the brand reputation since it is hygiene guarantee, and also provide customer a luxury-like buffet experience with lower costs. So moving on to the one-stop buffet shop strategies, the identified risks are poor inventory management and also adverse price changes in the supplies. Both of the risks can be mitigated by adopting the inventory management system and also entering into a fixed price contract with the suppliers respectively. So the key benefit of this strategy is that it increases their business revenue and also market segmentation, which Goigo can target both dine-in and also home-cooked customer. So moving on to the 3-year projection, we have separated it into 4 phases. So in the first phase, Goigo would need to plan on their business model revolving the suggested strategies and also to do the financial projections. Basically, the necessary steps before implementing these strategies. In phase 2, it is projected that Goigo will take around a year to renovate all their business. In phase 3, this is where Goigo has to start recruiting more employees, providing training to the employees, as well as market their business model on the social media platform. And lastly, in the phase 4, they will need to walk through the entire customer journey, as well as review and revise along the way. So that's all from our group, and I hope you enjoy our presentation. Thank you.